So I'm sitting here with Alex Knowlton today, my brother, my soul brother, and actually the first and most honorable man I've gotten the opportunity to host a one-on-one retreat with. So just blessings to you, brother, and thank you so much for being the first of many men to come through and experience the beauty, the magic, the power of shifting into your highest vibrational self. If you just want to take a moment, introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about you, and then we can get into the retreat a little.
Yeah.
Things that we did and whatnot.
Sure. Alex Knowlton from Ballinger, Texas, and I arrived here. We're going to leave this part out.
Bring it in if we want. It doesn't matter.
Just in a terrible condition. I mean, just like kind of at the end of my rope. Not like suicidal or anything, but just unappreciative, ungrateful, kind of buried, really, just like. And I just knew I had to do something different. I was going through a divorce, problems with family, my attitude, how I treated them, and just in a bad spot, man. And I just knew I had to do something different. In fact, I was at a point where it's like, man, I'll just run everybody off if I have to. Man, it's terrible, but that's just, so that's where I was at. And so I knew I had to do something different. I started looking into different modalities of healing because I knew this was not right. This was not right, but this is where it was at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I had a calloused heart, and that wasn't what I was born with.
No, no, it wasn't.
So I just knew that I had to do something different.
Yeah.
So I started looking into different medicines and started looking into ayahuasca, and that's really where I was wanting to head. And then I come across paths with Bufo. I mean, through research, and saw that I could go somewhere that's closer, easier, the time frame, and I could make that work versus the amount of time needed for the ayahuasca. So I made arrangements to come to Tulum. I don't know if I've heard of Tulum. It doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But I came here and had a ceremony with a facilitator, and had another ceremony with that same facilitator, and was confused kind of at the end of it because I didn't know what happened, and I didn't know how to integrate what I don't have any experience of. I didn't know. So I came to the sanctuary. And I walked in, you were there.
So that's, I guess we could tell them just a little bit about how we met in our first meeting, which is going to be this little, interlude or whatever you would call it. Yeah, go ahead and share that.
So I walked in and you were there and had some questions. Didn't know if I was even, candidate to have a ceremony again 3 days in a row. I didn't know how it worked. So I asked some questions. You had answers with grace and kindness. Yeah, man, it was beautiful. I was. It was right, dude. It was just like it was divine for sure, without a doubt. That's where we're at, man.
Yeah, I agree.
So we did a ceremony, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was life changing. It was absolutely life-changing. Now, it didn't have to be. It could have been a phenomenal experience, but I knew there was more. I mean, it was. I just knew that it just. I don't know, man. It tore some skin off. It opened up perception. It opened up my heart, and it was like, man, I gotta do something with my life and some. I mean, I gotta change. There's way more to life, and I just need to find out. So that's whenever I was interested in going to do facilitation. At least go through and see if it's a fit. And so that's how I came. That's how I got here.
Right. So yeah, I guess so. Essentially, yeah, we had stayed in touch. Anybody that I do work with the medicines with, I will offer my number to them, as did Alex, and he had reached back with some questions, and through our conversations, a manifestation for last December 2023 kind of unfolded, and we embarked on what was the first one-on-one men's retreat. So I'm super thankful to have you here today, back after a beautiful another ceremonial weekend that we were actually side by side in, both as participants of that. That's another story for another day. However, so once we lined that up, Alex had come down, what was it, December 31st, coming into the new year, and that was just kind of our get caught up day. And let's go ahead and maybe, so January 1st, really we kicked off like day one of what I would say was the beginning of our retreat. So
it was
day one, if you want to share maybe just go through a day in the retreat, what would you say, what was the average day in a retreat for us like? Or for you like?
Well, okay. After a good night's sleep,
gotta get the rest.
Wake up, gratitude.
Love
Number
it.
one, gratitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And before the feet hit the floor, gratitude. And that's a really good time for visualization. And that's the melatonin is high. It's a good building block to elevate things. And I'm not Joe Dispenza. He could explain it better if you need clarification for that. But anyway, yeah.
Dr. Joe, holla at you.
So, man, we would get up and, exchange pleasantries and head to the sunrise on the beach. Get there before sunrise and just kind of, get plugged in. We would walk there in the dark barefoot across broken glasses.
I love it!
Yeah. So we would.
So tell me, so we go to the beach, yeah?
Yeah.
What does BMV mean, Alex? What is BMV? Let's fill in with
breathwork, meditation, visualization with emotion.
Breathwork, meditation, visualization, and associating the visualization practice with feelings and emotions. Yes. So that would be our kind of beginning to each day. Wake up with gratitude. Absolutely important, And then, boom, beach, sunrise, BMV. And then where do we go from there?
Coffee.
Conchitas, baby! We love you!
Yeah.
Too bad they're closing. We didn't go today. I went.
Did you?
I did! I did. I had to. I'm so jacked on coffee. After a week of no caffeine.
That's a bummer, man.
I should have called you. That's my bad.
No,
we go to Panchitas for coffee, and then usually probably roll back, and then maybe, we wouldn't do coffee on a day we did medicine.
No.
I guess just finish kind of running through what you would say our average day was, and then I got some questions maybe associated from what you share and or little prongs that we'll dive into. So maybe just.
So we would come back depending on the time. Would depend on if we broke the fast, or if we would do yoga, or a lesson. I mean, it was kind of,
Yeah.
whatever fit.
So essentially, I guess maybe let's go through our non-negotiables for the day, which we're starting with the gratitude.
Gratitude.
Okay, so like what we do is like non-negotiables. Each retreat we create a list of non-negotiables. So it's like the modalities are set up as a general consensus. However, through the modalities, we create these non-negotiable tasks that we do every day that we have to check off our list. Within that, we create some more kind of more flowy type things. But like, what were our non-negotiables every day?
Gratitude.
Yes.
Sunrise.
Yes.
DMV.
Yes.
Yoga.
Yes.
Exercise.
Yes.
Healthy eating. Unity centeredness. That was like an all day. Really, it was from. I think the gratitude set to me was the foundation for the day. It was like, and I loved barefooted. Man.
Oh man, I gotta share this. So part of what we do is part of our practices, our daily modalities are going to be at least getting your feet on the ground for what I like to say 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
So I often will roam town with no shoes. And one day I happen to look behind me, this man's following me barefoot. I'm like, Alex, just so you know, walking all over town isn't a part of the retreat. Like, you can wear your shoes, brother. And he goes, oh no, I'm embracing it all. Oh, and I want to share something else on that, because this is something he brought me that was super beautiful. I get this from my father, I'm pretty sure, but if something gets him in a mode, I had these little mini cuss word rants. Damn, all this like negativity spewing spells out of my mouth. One day I step on the sharp rock in my foot and I go through my negative spell frequency, and this brother right here looks at me, and I think we were side by side. He just throws his hand on my shoulder and says, brother, I have a challenge for you. Next time you step on this sharp rock, I want you to say, I love it. And ever since that day, ever since then, now when I step on this sharp rock, it took some practice, I'm not going to lie. Maybe first time I went through the evil spell rant, and then the evil spell rant got, more reduced, and now it's just like, oh, I love it. I love it.
And you know what's funny is that ain't even my personality. Now, I'm like way worse. In fact, I did it right in front of my mom and sister. I stepped in on my heel, and I couldn't even hold it in.
Just chirp it.
Yeah, my sister, she just laughed. But so, I mean, yeah, I don't, that just like, that happened organically, and it was just like, we speak life or death.
100%.
So, this is another thing that I became aware of in the walking barefoot, because I'm in a rush, man, all the time. It doesn't matter. In fact, I was like, hurry up and go sleep, hurry up and wake up. It's like, but it slowed me down. It slowed me down in almost every way. So I was like, breakfast, that one morning I went and had breakfast alone. Right before I left, I wanted to, so I went, had breakfast alone, lots of food, and it was just like, yeah.
That's something else we do.
Yeah.
Food, water.
Yes, yeah. And it was just like, and just savoring every bite and every texture, and that's like, I never even considered that really, but I think the practice of all of it actually, but the slowing down and appreciation and the gratitude, and just even like in the blessing all the hands involved and all the different ingredients in it, just was one bowl of whatever it is, and it's from all these different places. And anyway, it was really beautiful, man. It was just like, and it's a bowl, but it's way more than that. Anyways, so
Don't you do that shit to me!
Anyway.
None of that anyway shit. That's one thing we were working on. We would always anyway be as if like, what I have to say isn't important. Let's move on. Like, anyway. No, that's it, brother. That's about embodying those different rituals, practices, modalities that we bring in. And I love that you are able to express that appreciation for the bites. Even the water. I suppose so, kind of tearing, like what you're saying is what I'm getting is kind of just restructuring your day in a sense, right?
It's a...
was that, would that be an accurate statement? Like restructuring your day into different modalities?
It's an incomplete lifestyle makeover. I mean, yeah.
Elaborate on that a little bit, if you don't mind. A complete lifestyle makeover. I really like that.
Okay. Wake up. First thing, cuss at my alarm clock. Get up, stomp to the coffee maker, and just... I would put on a smile when I went to work. Because, of course. I mean, for most of the time. I could tell when I didn't. I wouldn't realize it, but I would notice... People would get out of the office, look at him, look at his face, he's mad. Like, you mad already? And we ain't even done anything.
Oh, wow.
But, my point is that versus waking up, gratitude, walking in peace, unity, alignment, oneness, love. I mean, like anybody, it took a long time to get in this, but I'm expecting fast tracking to this guy that already exists.
Oh yeah.
In this place.
So what I'm hearing from that is you expected this man to show up that you know is already there, but not doing the work per se.
No.
To see that guy.
I'm saying. My future self already exists. What steps am I going to take? It takes. You have to do the work. It's that simple. You can't. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
So, what work do I want to do? Do I want to keep on doing the work that got me to the person that I knew had to do something?
Yeah.
Or am I going to do the work to this dude, the one that I see, the one that, so that's the work that I'm going to put forth to become, who's already there. Yeah. He is. So is this guy. They really both are.
I love that you see that. Speaking of love, I want to share my most loving moment of the entire retreat. I believe it was day 4. Was it? Oh yeah, it's 5 because 1, 2. Yep. Okay, so day 5. I love that you remember that.
Yeah.
Day 5 of the retreat, we come back. We sit with a micro, and upon that microdose, that's one big thing we will do during retreats. Depending if you take that avenue of the retreat, is microdoses of the Bufo Alvarious. So this is our 3rd sitting, right? Was this our 3rd with the medicine? I think 3rd. Yeah, day 5 was 3rd. So 1, 2. Yep. We did a breakthrough, micro, but we always start with the micro dose prior. And Alex is here. We set up a little beautiful space on the floor and get it nice and cozy. And upon coming from the microdose, he does the typical scan, looks over, catches my eyes, and looks at me and goes, Esteban, Steven, whatever you were calling me at that time. Esteban. I believe. I go, well, Alex, that's really beautiful, but what is it that you believe? This man says, ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. I believe that I love myself. And I begin to cry. And I laugh now, but I started to cry. And probably
that's a big thing, man.
3-4 times after I told that story, I also cried. I cried in front of like 20 other men telling the story because it was that powerful to me. Yeah. That for me was my most beautiful, affirmative truth that I was finally on the right path, doing the right work with the proper alignment, purpose, passion behind the work that I'm finally doing. So I just want to, I see you, I respect you, and I like, thank you for that. Like helping me on my path realize that. And I know I've told you that already, but I just want to reiterate, like, thank you for that, because without that, who knows, maybe I would have said, oh, this is shit, like I'm going to do something else. So thank you for that, and thank you for receiving everything. Let's maybe ask you your favorite 2 or 3 things of the entirety of the 17 days that we.
Let me
Yeah, bring it.
give a little bit. I
Please.
actually forgot about a couple different things.
Please
but
share.
So the whole loving myself thing is something I realized probably at around 6 months prior, the middle of 23. I mean, of 24, the middle of, June 24, 2024. I realized, I got to do some work on loving myself. I mean, I don't even know how that come about. I just knew that's what I was doing. And I told my family, I told the people I work with, that's kind of a hard thing to, it's just kind of very, putting yourself out there in a big way. But it's like, I don't care, man. I'm going to tell them. So I started doing, I was telling myself, I love you in the mirror. I would kid around a little bit at first and be like, I love you. And I'd look at, yeah, I love you too. I was like, I know you do, because you are me and I am you. Kind of a little ha-ha. But then I looked in my eyes one day in the mirror and I said, I love you. And it was just like, it was pretty wild. It was interesting, but it wasn't the true, like, knowing, believing and knowing. And then, after the January the 5th, I did that. And I was just like, I woke up and I just had I had tears, and I don't really know why, but I was sitting up, and I just was like, I don't even know how I was feeling my face, man. And then the tears were like coming down, and I just was like rubbing tears on my face, and it was like, holy shit, man, I freaking love me. Oh. Yeah, that's how it was, and it was like, wow. And it was just, it seemed silly, kind of, to take have to put so much effort into doing that, to love yourself, but it's important. It's critical.
I'm getting goosebumps. I love it. That's it.
And the reason was to offer a better version of myself, especially the closest to me. I've done so much damage to the closest people in my life. That's why. That's a different story. Anyway, I'm not gonna.
Touch on whatever you want, brother. Touch on whatever you want.
Man. It's like, that's how I knew. It's like, man, I gotta fix stuff. So, that's kind of how that. Now, what were you?
So I was just gonna say too. That is kind of like what I'm formulating. That's like the name of what we do, like with the company, the business. It's consciously reawaken primal male energy, and a part of that is rediscovering deep self-love for yourself, everything and everyone in this beautiful and vast universe. That is literally like the tagline of quote unquote retreat, what we're doing with these practices. So I love that that you share with us is a part of that deep self-love, re-loving, like what a beautiful thing.
And I'm receiving the perfect unconditional love. But for me, the perfect unconditional love from God, I share with everybody.
Your cup is, you said this a few times, you're like, my cup. My heart.
My picture was like I was like an ancient water jug. The once the ancient, it was kind of big old clay.
Yeah.
A great big clay jug.
The balance on the woman's head. Spilling over. But that's the love, right? The water's the love. Just spilling.
It's just flashing everywhere. Watch out.
Lead into that, so we touched on that. It's beautiful. Thank you. And I guess I would just like to know, like, what were your favorite parts of what we did? It was originally designed to be a 14-day. We extended a few days. So throughout the 17 days, it may have been 18 actually, with our first day that we didn't quite unquote call. 19 days. What would be your, just share with us your favorite few pieces of that, or just any takeaways that just really impacted you and just your just favorite parts of it? Like, what were your favorite pieces?
I really liked the breath work. That seemed to, and I think that's something that, you know, you put forth how to do that in a correct way. You know, doing it in the right method. There's a reason why it's done a certain way, and however you want to learn how to, you know, whatever breath work. But the one that really, the single nostril. Oh. You know what's so funny? When we first started doing that.
I think that was on day 3. It just like channeled, like, we need to do this.
But at first I'm like, this is a silly one.
It fastly turned into my favorite too. I was like, I get so lost in it.
I did too.
I was like, I don't know if we're doing 20 or 10 or like 30. Where are we? How long have we been here?
Every time it's like, I'm not going to lose count this time. 3, and then, you know.
It's like you just,
yeah. Yoga was, I really liked yoga. It's something that I really wanted to find out what type, because, I mean, we did different ones, and I'm not sure which one, you know, aligns.
We still have more to check out. You know what I mean? I still got to link with you about that.
And I didn't get through with our day. Well, yeah, well, we didn't go.
We touched on most of it. The LJDs.
LJD.
LJD.
So, to me, because that's my.
Can you tell them what LJD means real quick?
Lesson, journal, discussion.
Ow, ow.
See, the lesson is something. That's my rabbit trail. That's all too much. Way too much time I spend in the lesson. Yeah. My thing is the journaling part of it. I may or may not do, because a lot of times it's just that's what's on, and I'm trying to follow as I'm doing other things, or I'm just sitting there watching it. But yeah, the lesson, man, learning these different practices that you can implement to make positive changes. I've spent way too many hours. I got too much stuff bouncing around. But yeah, the lesson, journaling, take notes of the lesson. Journaling was another thing. Yeah. But and then the discussion.
Journal.
Yeah. I like the journaling.
It's good. So we didn't even bring that up.
Journaling.
We didn't even bring that up, that we do daily journaling. I now call it a success list. I'm calling it a success list.
All right.
But journaling, success list, whatever you want to call it, essentially getting what you're saying, all the clutter up here, out here, so then you're able to align your day a little better, right? Yeah. Because if I don't go around, I have all these things on my mind that I'm trying to do throughout the day. However, if I just sit down and consciously write out, you know, even the things as basic as waking up with gratitude, I call it rising gratitude. Then I turn around and make the bed, hit myself with the mirror work, you know what I mean? And then turn around and I come to the candle, I light the altar, light some incense, and then I say some prayers here. And then turn around, generally depending on the day, I'll pull out the mat, hit a yoga practice, turn around and use the roller, boom, and then hit some abs. By that time, if I have enough time, I'll go to the success list, begin my success list. The success list consists of daily activities. So it's like what I want to get done. I call it the do list. So my do list, a lot of that do list is part of my non-negotiables. I put it on there because I get a dopamine rush every time I check something off. It gives me that little spike. And then it's affirmations. I've also got the mantra on there. I don't think we've gotten your mantra yet. That's okay. It's just a new thing that's come into the field. I would be happy to ask you these questions. And then from there, we'll get you a mantra placed up. I'll get that over to you here, and we can do that in a week. But I'll give you the questions on the plane, maybe on your way back. You can get that, and then I'll send it, and we'll get it done. Then we roll into the sunrise BMV. From there is generally you come back. Usually we'll have ceremony after that. If not, it's generally we'll go for the coffee, some journaling, some OT, whatever it would be, and then we just roll into the day. We take care of the yoga. We've done yoga every day from this year. So back to asking you the questions though. I want to get off. I get excited. I get rambling, and that's okay. However, so your favorite few quote unquote modalities thus far were the breath work, the LJD.
LJD, I liked it. That's just
Yeah,
how I'm
yeah.
wired. Yeah, just with learning new ways. I mean, these are brand new. This whole lifestyle is brand new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All this is. I mean, I pray a lot, so that but all these. Gratitude is something that I would do on occasion, but it wasn't like it wasn't on my non-negotiable list. It wasn't something that I,
like a daily practice.
Yeah. So
beautiful daily practice.
Yeah.
Even throughout the day, wake up at 3, we do 3 more.
It's the first thing, and that sets the stage for it being that is how you're walking in gratitude, peace, and grace and love. That is your being for the day. What would greatness do? Huh? How about that one?
What would greatness do?
What would love do?
Oh, so much beauty.
I think that's a Dispenza quote.
What would love do? Holy cow.
Yeah.
So
I ask myself that, whenever it's like, because I've had opportunity to follow a negative way, or do I want to choose a higher way? The love way, or Alex's way? Not really.
The old Alex. The old Alex.
The old guy.
Not the man that's walking in the new light. This re-identified, beautiful man I've got next to me. Another thing that I love too, that was also an affirmation I just want to share, is people that had met you on the beginning of when we started, right? And they would run into you later in the weeks or, throughout time. We met several people out in town. That's another thing we do is we step out in the community. We get you into community. We do different things. We do Mayan deep muscle tissue torture massages.
Ancient Mayan healing
massages. Gorgeous. Tame as cows. Men's groups.
Yeah.
What the freak else do we do?
Yeah.
We got food, mentorship. Shout out to Evan and the gang. Gosh, just so many different activities. I feel like what you're saying to me is it's almost like a Bufo experience in real life without the medicine. And it's like we grab you by the ankles, we turn you upside down, we shake you, and we change your fucking lifestyle, and just enable you to walk in a better light.
More like how Thor did Loki, I think.
Oh, I don't know, but I love what you did. Like, reminds me of like Bam Bam with his little little thing just popping around. So yeah, I guess shoot.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
all the water we drink and quality water.
Yeah.
The food.
Yeah.
So we changed your diet around. Literally changed your diet.
Yeah. I've had red meat like 3 times in the past 2 months, which I have for the most part cut out, at least at this point right now. Not that I can't eat it.
How much were you eating prior to coming here?
Red meat? Well, just breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Only breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Holy crap!
That's not an inaccurate statement.
You did say you were just. I was like, you seem to me like I remember saying this to you. I was like, you strike me as kind of like a meat and potatoes kind of guy. You're like, no, I'm a meat and meat kind of guy. Literally switched them on because I'll meet you where you are, right? Like I'll meet you where you're at. So at the beginning, I also asked Allie, like, what do you want to do? What kind of diet do you want to do? Because within that, you've got the nutrition guide of things to follow. You checked it out, and you said, I want to do vegan, right? I believe it was vegan, you said. And then you're like, wait.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
I really did.
No worries. But he instantly changed. He said, no, wait, let's do fish. So it was what I like to call the Rastafarian diet. It's kind of like a vegan diet, but we had fish, maybe a little butter in our coffee, which the coffees we will do. However, that's great. So yeah, turning your diet upside down, getting you drinking water, not only quality water, gratitude, BMV, LJD. You pick your exercise. You did yoga. Our current retreat that we're on actually right now also chose yoga. But within the yoga, he wants to do a little more. He wants to get out and do the running, which I know we weren't able to get into just because our days were so packed. Yoga, and then we've created, like, don't really have a ton of time for exercise, but we've created what I like to call a fitness life hack for this current one. Got a little gym outside here. So it's like every time we leave the apartment, we have to go into our little gym. We do pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and bicep curls.
That's a great
So it's like,
idea, man.
we have to do it. It's called a fitness life hack. You go and, like, you see something. Even at your job, you could do this, right? I know push-ups were our thing. We were doing a lot of push-ups and abs when you were here. So it's like you pick that spot in your office, like, I got to get up to go to the restroom. Before I'm allowed to go to the restroom, I just hit 10 push-ups. Something like that. Like, whatever that would be. I used to have a tree in the park I used to walk through a lot. And I created a fitness life hack there. If I walk through this park, I have to do this series. It was 3, 3, 3, 3. It was like 12 pull-ups altogether. It was like 2 grip this way, then I'd switch over to that way, switch over to this way, and then go to that way, like just on the branch because it was level, and I just all about the balance, right? So it's like creating the balance within life. So what fitness life hack could you do? Push-ups,
I'm gonna do
abs?
that, man. I'm gonna do with
Like somewhere in your office or wherever in your home. It's like nice to have that somewhere where you consistently walk by. Also, what I used to do when I first did, I made a sign. This was a little before I evolved, but it said basically, stop, don't be a kitten. And a little more intense word.
Yeah.
And then so it was like basically talking shit on myself if I don't stop and do push-ups. And each exit out of the door I had different grip pull-up under the bar, and I'd have to do different pull-ups. And that will literally drill into your head, and at some point you'll like, I'm not doing it today, and you walk under and you're sitting there and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm being a little kitten. I don't want to be a little kitten. Don't hit the pull-ups.
If you don't do it, pet the kitten on your way out.
Oh gosh, dude.
Man.
So let's see.
So what we didn't talk about?
What didn't we talk about? Is there something we didn't talk about that we did?
Medicine.
Oh, the medicine.
Well, I guess we did. We kind of.
We touched on it a little bit. We don't need to
touched
get
on
too deep into the medicines.
Well,
I think it's more about.
That's the reason.
The main reason.
Because it was.
But
it was a small part.
It ended up being,
It wasn't. Yeah.
It didn't really. Medicine's there.
Yeah.
What I like to say with the medicine is it opens a door. And a lot of people, after they do the medicine, it opens this new door. Like, you have all these opportunities and different things. And a big part of what I like to do is, like, integration stuff. So, like, what we were really focused on for the retreat, little did you know when you came, in the background, I had known that it was going to be this very tiny part.
See,
But
I didn't, and whenever I look back, that's the part I forget. That's why I came.
You came for the medicine,
it's like unnecessary.
It's opening the door, and then also showing you once the door is open how to keep the door open.
Well,
and
I'm
then
just
through different modalities.
saying you can get there without.
Well, it's nice. Sometimes I like to refer to it as like another tool in the belt, right?
Yeah.
You can build a house without hammers and nails, but man, hammers and nails makes it a hell of a lot easier to build the house. So sometimes we hammer and nail your house, and then we show you how to build the house without the hammer and nails. Yeah. But once that door's open, it's really easy to stay in it and navigate through. If that makes sense to you at all.
I just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessary. The medicines aren't necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little longer, but we got nothing but time in this world.
I think it was an eye opener for me.
Interesting.
I mean,
me too. I mean, the medicines really aided my sobriety. 14 months, like starting with the Te Piscowite, then the Kambo, then sitting in the Bufo, and then learning to train with the Bufo and the Kambo, working closely with that. Rape actually helped me with my baloney addictions, which I haven't even brought out to anybody yet. But yeah, like Rape helped me get off of ketamine. I was doing up to 2 grams of ketamine in a day, smoking 2 packs of freaking Camel cigarettes in a day, and got a sign from above. Thank you, Tulum, but basically was ripped with if you're going to achieve anything in this world you're out to achieve, you need to get sober. My body auditorily went, fuck! I was so upset. I started punching the steering wheel. I'm high and driving, naturally. Even less responsible. I had people in the car, passengers that I just dropped off. Multiple signs. I don't want to get too into it now. That's a story for another day. But yeah, that gnarly. I was not planning on sharing that, but we'll see if this makes it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's another thing I left out. I had been drinking for about 8 years is whenever I got back into drinking.
oh, back into drinking after the other dark stuff we don't even need to discuss.
Sure, okay.
It doesn't need to go on here.
But the drinking, no, I wasn't. But
Okay.
that's just like
that's for us.
for the 8 years, every day. I mean, practically every. If I was super sick, maybe I wouldn't. But so yeah, I drank a couple of beers on the way to the airport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
On the way here.
On the way here. Yeah. So
don't do that. You need to be
No,
at least 48 hours out. I prefer a week.
Oh.
It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. You
But,
didn't follow that after either our first time hanging out either. I found out later during our retreat. You took me to visit your little friend on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Like, no drinks today. I'm like, Alex, you have drinks, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. He's like.
You're not the first person to
Yeah.
know. I've literally walked out of places and I'm like, I just facilitated you medicine. One of my things I 100% told you is don't drink alcohol for the next 30 days. They're sipping wine or beer right next door. So be it.
Yeah.
They're all recommendations. I can't. We're all our own man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're your own man at the end of the day. I'm my own man. We make our decisions. Follow your gut. Let your gut be your guide. There's no right or wrong. Only our perception that makes us think so.
Yeah. So drinking, Copenhagen,
Oh yeah, dip it. Ooh.
other life controlling issues.
What would that
on
be like?
top of that,
Pornography,
sex, and
just
yeah,
sexual misconduct, essentially.
yeah. Even the freaking just the lustful eye.
The dirty eyes. Yes,
Yeah.
we handled that.
Right, an ancient healing massage guy.
Oh, yeah, I told you, bro.
goodness.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I haven't none
Mm-hmm.
of the. I mean,
Proud of you for that.
yeah.
That's not easy.
Even I think her name was Lynn.
Yeah.
Whenever I came out of that massage, she's like, "Golly, you don't even look like the same guy that walked in there."
You didn't. I remember you coming out. You're just like on cloud nine. So, you're like floating.
Painful, man.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. We being in that journey together. It's been a long time, but hey, it feels better. Making things happen. You know, saving, harnessing your superpower. You know, really being deliberate with everything, standing in integrity, and not just. I like to call it your super force, your superpower. Like this juice, this retention. Your semen is creation, and when you just are spilling your creation recklessly all over the place, you're just not serving you at a proper capacity. You could harness that and use that energy for good.
Yeah. That's
a part of what we do. So guys, if you're gonna come down, we're not jerking off, we're not chasing women. You know, come to Tulum, oh my God, so many beautiful people, yeah, there is, but then it's like the lustful eyes, like, yo, tell me the fuck down.
You know, it's
we're not
really,
here. We're here to do some deep inner work, and part of that is not chasing women. So
it is amazing the transformation. You know, on occasion I will be somewhere and beer will pop in my head, just like, man, I could, and it's like I don't want to. The thought would be there, but it's like, no way, man.
What am I gonna do that for?
No way.
I love that, bro.
I don't. Yeah. It's like, how are you going to treat yourself?
Ooh.
If you love yourself.
The temple, baby. The temple within. You know, respecting your
what you watch, what you
everything.
You know,
the
hear,
consumption.
what you consume.
Everything, brother.
What do you? Yeah.
Conscious consumption is huge.
Yeah. Cultivating this vessel.
I mean, you look great, brother. Like, even better than the last time I had seen you. Is there anything else you want to touch on? I don't know. We've kind of covered the day. I'm sure we missed stuff, but how could you not when you spend 17, 18, 19 days together and we can't hash the whole thing?
It was, I'm 56. I was 55 when I was here because my birthday was
that's true.
That's right. I had a birthday. So, 56. And it's, I just, it's incredible that you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Mm.
you know. But the dog has to be willing. Obviously.
Ooh, the dog's got to be willing. That's true. It's
yeah.
not for
And
everybody.
transformation requires, what is it? Consistency.
There you go. Literally consistency. Coming every day, showing up every day, doing the quote unquote work, the practices that we set up. It's important to implement those in your daily routine. And obviously when you're here, that is quote unquote our work, and it's about implementing it outside of here. You know, we may have done hour-long breathwork, meditation, visualizations multiple times. However, I'm pretty sure you're not sitting an hour and a half doing BMV back in Texas, which is fun, but incorporating it still.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, you can get up at 4.
You can. There's more time in the day if you create it.
Yeah. you can find a way, or you can find an excuse.
Ooh, I love that.
Whichever.
You can find a way or find an excuse. That's beautiful.
And you will.
And
I will. I'll either find a way or I'll find an excuse.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I'm here right
you.
now.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I promise I will. This is just inside shit from this past weekend.
So how about okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, so
Please just share. I'm open.
If you're considering you want to change, you know, if a person's considering they want to change the path they're on, whatever age you are, however long you've been doing it, there's another way. There's a better way. And there's this place, let's see, Tulum. This dude I met, Steven,
Hey.
that is a beloved figure. You haven't been here all that long, but yeah, man. And you walking around, and people just, you know, like, even people that don't know you. I'm like, who's that? I don't know. It's like,
when you change your frequency, start to resonate with the highest version of yourself, you illuminate that light, that love, that frequency, and people are drawn to that, magnetized towards it.
Well, yeah, you're trustworthy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I receive all this.
You're loving. Well, it's heartfelt, and it's true.
I mean, I'm getting goosebumps on top of the goosebumps right now, bro. Stop.
Yeah. And likable.
Thank you.
I gave you awesome the other day, but I forgot to tell you in so many ways.
Thanks, brother.
Ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And you know, it shows, man. It shows. I mean, everybody loves you. And it's awesome. It's awesome, dude.
I want to cry again,
awesome.
bro. I already cried today. I already cried today.
Did you? That's great.
Yeah, we got some things happening in Honduras after this week, and I kind of touched it on you, but I've got a spot where I'll be hosting a retreat in Honduras here in the next year or so. Basically, the portal's open after this weekend. We were just having the discussion. I think you were maybe or maybe not, but I was talking about I want to kind of like do some of this retreats in and out of Tulum. Like, I don't only want to be Tulum, the potential to come and meet you where you are, or pick certain locations I want to go to and then host there, and literally impromptu meeting, 45 minutes, running to another brother that's actually on his way out in 48 hours, had made a promise to another brother who said, current retreat guy, our brother, and he was like, oh, I don't eat bread anymore, I can't eat bread. I was like, dude, you can eat bread, like, it's on the list, it's just gotta be good bread, like, don't eat the bullshit. So I was like, I have some bread I'm gonna buy for you. I was having a meeting with another woman I'm working with right now, working with the medicines actually, and we were outside talking, and the bakery's actually right next door in the Menno. Shout out to Menno, you're bomb. But we smell, they're making their croissants, and their smell is flooding over the wall. Man. She's like, oh, I want a croissant. Living next to a bakery is dangerous. And instantly I go, man of integrity, I promised our man, I'm not going to mention his name right now, I don't think he wants to be in space or whatever, so we'll just leave his name anonymous for the time being. But I was like, oh, I told him I got to go buy him a loaf. I walk in to buy a loaf, I see these other two, this beautiful couple I had met not too long ago on the beach, sitting there, so I go over and talk with them, and we're going to be going to Honduras. Oh, okay. He just gave the green light to mention the name. However, we're already past it. No worries. We're going to have an interview with him here in a little bit, too, that'll be coming out. So, about his experience and how we met, which is a lifelong friendship, brotherhood, into now hosting a retreat for that. So, that's another interview for another day, though.
Well, that makes that, yeah, that's a whole different aspect if you can go.
That's
Because-
able to meet you where you are, right?
Yeah.
Like I can come
Yeah.
and theoretically
I didn't know
stay
you
in an
meant
Airbnb close, or if there's an extra spot, like we can come rip your freaking fridge apart, your cupboards apart, and basically get you on the nutrition side of it. And I'm also thinking too, just right now, like it doesn't have to be all or none. Like say your diet's already in check, you're working out, you have your exercise on par. Like what's to say that we can't elevate your daily practices?
Yeah.
Find some time in the day where you would be able to work in the BMV or kind of going through these other modalities and seeing what sticks with you. And it's just again about that, meeting you where you are and figuring which one of these things works. Like let's give it all a try. But within that, and I believe we had discussed this, if any of this stuff doesn't work for you, like it's about being open and honest with one another. Like, hey man, this is not working for me. We need to go somewhere else, right?
Try something else. Pick what fits.
It's adaptability, adaptability is the name of the game. Not everything's going to work for everyone. These are the things that I found that work for me in my world, and I'm willing to share that. But however, I also need you to be real with me in order for us to make this work. And we did a good job with that. Like you told me when things weren't going, and we just play and we work. And even the current one, I'm finding out different situations. It's totally